Hi guys, today we're going to react to Emotional Cross Counter by Broken by the Scream. First time reaction. This is a Buy Me a Coffee request from Tai Havard, also a first time requester. Thank you, Tai, for this request and for your support.
Thank you, Tai, for the request, for introducing us to a new band, and we're looking forward to checking it out.
I feel like I've been punched in the gut and in the face over and over and over.
And kicked in the nuts.
And kicked in the nuts, yeah. But I think it's kind of poetic that it's coming from a Japanese band. We've reacted to bands with clean vocals and harsh vocals. They have two harsh vocalists here. And I think in this band, in this particular moment that I'm really thinking about it, this is the greatest dissonance that I've experienced from a band between clean vocals and harsh vocals. They have harsh vocals that's making me seriously think that maybe one or two of them are possessed by actual demons. Those voices don't sound remotely human. It's awesome, of course. I mean, I'm saying it in a good way, but I think Tai mentioned in his notes that we can sort of perceive this band as if baby metal were a lot more brutal, then this is what they'd be. And I can see that. It hits fast, it hits hard, and it doesn't let go. Yeah, that's all I have to say for now. I'm trying to still process.
I think Tai also mentioned that this might be the first band that we're gonna, first Japanese band that would look at and go, oh, maybe they took it too far. But I don't know about that. The one thing, as soon as it started and they showed that location, it reminded me of Nemophila when we first reacted to them. I think it was Revive. It was a similar location. They were outdoors. And then we, for the first time, heard Mayu's screech. And here we have that similar kind of screech from one of the two vocalists. The two vocalists in my head, I've already, because we don't know the band, this is the first time reaction, we don't know the names of people involved. I've already, in my head, termed the two vocalists, the two harsh vocalists, I should say, as the demon and the hound of hell. Because one of them sounds like that, one the other sounds like that. And it's like, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool, because the metal in the background, which is a little bit kami bandish, it's got that sort of heavy bass, the drums kick in, and it's like, yeah. Okay, this is good metal, I'm enjoying it. And then they went into the clean vocals and the chorus. The chorus would not be out of place without the metal in the Eurovision contest.
Could be, yeah.
It's not a bad thing. I like it, but it's like it has no business being in the same song as the rest of what we're hearing, yet they throw it all together and it somehow works. I've said this about many Japanese bands. I don't even understand why it works. It just works. Because I think we've come to expect Japanese bands to be adventurous, to take risks, to experiment, to involve all these different genres in the one song. So we're not surprised by it, but also not insulted by it. We don't take it as a personal affront or something. It's like, okay, this is the style, this is what they do, and it actually sounds pretty cool. That chorus, it just kind of softened the blow, because as you said, the start of the song, it's like being kicked in the face and punched in the gut and kicked in the nuts all at the same time, and then it's like, here's a caress for you. Here's a bit of smooth,
Yeah.
nice, cute sounding vocals,
Yeah.
goes into this very sort of melodic and catchy chorus that still has the metal in the background. I'm not sure where I would place this band as far as favorites so far on a first impression, but I like it. It's interesting.
Normally, when we react to Japanese bands, I think it's across the board. They don't commit to just a single style and a single signature. They have that experimental thing is in all the Japanese bands we react to. Can safely say it after having reacted to quite a few.
It's funny that they're called Broken by the Scream because it feels like there's a scream situation and then it's broken by a chorus that's different and the name fits. And I have to say, the reason why now I can listen to this and kind of go, yeah, I like this, is this show. Because a few years ago, if I would have heard this, I probably would not have understood it and I probably would not have been able to get my ear around it as quickly. A lot of harsh vocals that we've heard in this show over time, from even Nemophila to like Crypta, has put us in a spot where we can listen to these types of vocals and go along with it, and also still hear the music and still hear everything that accompanies the vocals and everything around it. This is really cool.
These particular vocals I can explain with another band. When we listen to Hanabi and we listen to Yukina's harsh vocals, you still know it's coming from Yukina or somebody the size of Yukina. You still recognize Yukina in her harsh vocals. In here, especially I think you termed it the Hound from Hell, the deeper harsh vocals. I don't know how she's producing that voice. It doesn't sound human. It sounds otherworldly.
This kind of thing takes me back to vocalists like Will Ramos with Lorna Shore. Perplexing at first. It was like I was very unsure. And then as the song went, kind of started getting into it, kind of understanding it more, and also understanding that it is possible for this kind of sound to come out of a human, but also to appreciate the skill involved. And that's kind of where I am with this. It's like, I don't know how she does it, but she's doing it. The Hound from Hell. Big like on that.
First dates are probably very interesting if she flexes that thing.
Especially, that phone call.
The power of Christ compels you. Yeah. I listen to it, the more it doesn't add up in my brain. I need a lot of time to process what I'm hearing. Regarding the subject matter, I could only gather the general idea behind it. The song is called Emotional Cross Counter. I think it's a reference to boxing. In the context of the song and the subject matter, it's like a statement from a lover to a lover that they'll never stop fighting for the relationship as a boxer fights in the ring. And it doesn't matter how many hits they're going to take, how many losses they're going to experience, they will never stop fighting for their relationship. That's what I got from it. I could be wrong, but that's what I got.
I think it's also about the two people in the relationship boxing each other, where some people see relationships as a dance. Here it's a boxing match.
Yeah.
And I think it looks at the complexities of relationship, where there's pain and there's pleasure. There's good and bad, there's soft, there's hard. Relationships have all these elements in them. You can be a time where you feel like the relationship is nourishing, and at other times it's deeply hurtful and damaging. I think it explores all of that. There's like themes in there of one side being offended, potentially by miscommunication or hurt emotions, all kinds of struggles. And the song is about wrestling with the existence of that while saying what you said at the end, I'm not giving up, I'm fighting for this relationship. So understanding that there is still love there. Love was the first word of the song. It was like love, just love.
Yeah.
That was like a sentence. It's basically saying like love is what the song is about. It was like introducing you. Love is many things. It's good, it's bad. It's everything that happens in here. And also I think that the vocal stylings reflect that. You have your harsh vocals at two different levels. You have your clean vocals at different levels. You have that chorus, and then you have that banging bridge and all the changes. It's almost like they threw several different genres and subgenres into this song, because that's what love is. That's what relationships are. It's a whole mess of things. And it's interesting that it's coming out this way. There was one section there, I was just like headbanging into it. I'm like, this is freaking awesome, you know? And then they come in with that soft chorus again. And I'm like, this is almost like a boy band, girl band, whatever, but like a poppy thing. And in the back, you still have the guitars and the bass and the drums for the metal. And I'm like, I don't know how this is working, but I'm loving it.
It works perfectly, yet it's very exhausting to take all of that in because you don't know where to place it. It activates different parts of your brain as you apply them to different tastes and different genres of music. And also, regarding the subject matter, you said love. Love is like the only condition that needs to happen to make everything that the narrator is saying that they'll do worthwhile. If there's love, then it's worth fighting for. But if there isn't love, then the whole thing breaks apart. Wow.
Wow, indeed.
Still trying to process what we've experienced. This song is a Frankenstein monster of styles. Not just the experimental attitude, but the audacity that they have, the courage to jump into that subject matter, into that kind of music with that. Let's use our two harsh vocals in there. Let's change gears a lot. I don't know how they knew it will work. I'm guessing they didn't. That would make it even more funny and worth of admiration if they did know it will work. And it worked anyway.
Yeah, I mean, what did you call it? Like a Frankenstein's monster? I can definitely go along with that. I think it's a beautiful mess. It feels like it's messy, but we know that it's very planned and thought out and also experimental. You could even hear it when they went into that guitar solo, and then there was another, and I was like, what is happening here? It's almost sounding like jazzy in one point and then almost like bluegrass in another, and then it's like, what's going on here? And it still sounds good, and it was just like this roller coaster ride. So yeah, I don't know, I really, really enjoyed it. And then I went back to the lyrics and thought about everything that we've said about it. Yes, it's about relationships, but it's also about, I think, a relationship that's potentially ended, because at one point I wasn't sure if the "you coward" part, is it because of wanting to get back together? At one point she says, I miss you, I'll get stronger now. So I thought maybe they have broken up, and maybe this is about that weakness of trying to get in touch with the other person, wanting them back when you know you shouldn't. Even if my tears overflow, love comes around and goes around. There was one of the lines. It's like, if love comes around, goes around, it means that I'll find a different love. This one is obviously done for. So I think it's a person who has been dumped and are now trying to come to terms with it. And that's that whole boxing match or that whole fight, the fighting, the whatever that led to it. There was a whole lot of passion there. And that's what she's saying. At the end, she says, I'm bad at giving up. Until the day I get you to turn around, I'll scream again and again until this voice reaches you, love. You coward. Earlier, she calls him a coward. She says, you coward, but so am I. What are you doing right now? So it's like it's flip-flopping and jumping around and whatever, just like the song itself, with all these different styles, these different thoughts and different actions are also happening all the way through. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, if the deal is about a relationship that is on again, off again, like terminalist relationship, then you can totally identify with the narrator and the fact that he or she will never stop fighting. But if it's not, if it's a relationship that has ended and the fighter in the relationship that's proclaiming all these things didn't yet realize that their former lover has chosen to end it so they can move on, so it's not working, then it's tragic. It gives out like stalker vibes.
I don't know about that. I think it's maybe trying to convince, not necessarily stalker. You look at different sections. Until my feelings reach you, I won't lose. So there's a competitive nature to this as well. They're both like being competitive. She says, I won't lose no matter how many times I fall down. I love you, accept it. A straight punch with all I've got, love. You coward, but so am I. What are you doing right now? I said before that the song was a roller coaster, and it refers to an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah,
which is what this relationship was.
Yeah.
And all the dualities of love and the relationship are expressed in the performance itself, in the song, in the composition. So they actually really took something that they wanted to express and expressed it that
Yeah.
way. It's very interesting. I really, really enjoyed it. It kind of made me think about the song itself, about why it is the way it is, why it's put together the way it's put together. And I have to say, with a lot of the Japanese bands we've come across, they have this kind of like an experimental side to them, and gear shifts and this and that. They're trying all kinds of different things. Some of them we haven't heard before, like this, like the first time we heard Ningenisu, Sokoninoru, you know, some of their stuff, it's just like, wow, the composition, how did they even think of this? That's kind of what I think about this song. Like, how did they sit there, put it together? Obviously, it was a team effort.
Yeah.
How did they agree on this being the outcome? And it's awesome.
That's what I can't understand. There must be a lot of trial and error that goes into this, but there's no way they could have known that this would all work. It's not supposed to work by any means. It's not supposed to even remotely go together, but it works. I don't know. I don't know how.
The more bands we meet, the more extreme it becomes in a way. I've said this before about other bands, and now I look back and I think, oh, of course it worked. There wasn't all that much into it compared to this. So it takes me back to Tai's notes in the request saying, oh, is this the band that's potentially going to take it too far? I completely understand why Tai wrote that. Thank you so much for introducing us to this band. This is both like eye-opening and mind-blowing. I really enjoyed this request. I really enjoyed the song, and I look forward to hearing more from this band. So thank you so much for this request. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Ty, for requesting this song. We enjoyed reacting to it. We enjoyed coming across something that we haven't seen before from a Japanese band. It's still percolating, at least in my head. It's going to be there for quite a long while. Thank you for that. More like this will be much appreciated. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click the little bell icon so you get notified on all our future videos. If you have a song in mind you'd like us to react to, please make your request through Buy Me a Coffee. The link is at the top of the description below. Thank you all for sticking with us. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you guys for all the support you're sending our way. We appreciate you oh so much. Please keep it coming. We are loving this journey, and we love having you along for it. We'll be back in a couple of days with a new episode. We hope to see you all then. Thanks again, guys. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.